This is your news weekend update for Medellin Colombia and Colombia as a whole. Follow along.
You're watching DC-born Rob, Erasing Borders. And now, the news.
Okay, good morning, good evening, good afternoon, wherever it is you're located. Thanks for watching. You're watching DC-born Rob, Erasing Borders. I'm DC Rob. This channel is dedicated to travel, number one, hopefully internationally. But again, if you can get around the corner, that should suffice. Also for expats who live in Medellin, Colombia, and would like to see the news in English without having to translate it on their own, or for short-time visitors who want to get to Medellin, Colombia, or anywhere else in Colombia and want to know what's going on before, during, and after they return. I've got 7 stories for you today. They should go pretty quick. Let's jump into the first one here. Are you ready for the Ciateros Parade? That's right, the Ciateros Parade starts in a couple of days. Consider the following recommendations. The main roads that are closed are Avenida Regional San Juan and Avenida Ferrocarril. So it's recommended to take alternate routes. On August 7th, the traditional Ciateros Parade is held as part of the Flower Fair. The parade will have 524 participants, 7 groups of artists, and a general area for the families and Ciateros. The parade will begin at 11:30 a.m., but at 2 p.m. the Ciateros pass. It is expected that more than 150,000 people will be located in the fairs. If you're going to go, here are a few of their recommendations for the Ciateros Parade. Number 1, apply sunscreen and bring accessories to cover yourself, a cap or hat or umbrella. Number 2, stay hydrated. Number 3, don't bring your pets to this type of an event. And number 4, there must be a form that you need to fill out first because it says finish the identity document at hand. So I guess to get inside of a certain area, you're going to need to have your ID checked and fill out a form. Okay. Also, lastly, minors must be with a responsible adult. That's right. You're responsible for your kids. Okay, man, I'm wishing I was there. This is one time I wish I could make it there for the flower fair, but of course, unfortunately, I have another business trip in a couple of days. But I asked myself, would I want to be at the flower fair right now?
Yes,
Absolutely.
absolutely.
Yes. Oh, of course.
Of course. I think we all agree.
That's right. I do want to be there. But anyway, let's jump into the next story. This is how the parade of classic and antique cars started at the flower fair. Okay, this was actually today, Saturday, but well, you're saying this on Sunday, but this is this August 5th, starting at 10 a.m. in the morning. The long-awaited parade of vintage cars began from the municipality of Envigado, a municipality located south of the Aburrá Valley. In the last days of the traditional flower fair in Medellin, the streets of Medellin were adorned with this traditional classic and antique car parade, which ended around 3 p.m. today, Saturday, August 5th. The tour, in its 26th year, sought to highlight utility cars, that is, those that were used as a work resource during the 20th century. For this reason, the people of Medellin have had an opportunity to see campers, trucks, pickups, fire engines, hearses, trucks, buses, and taxis, which at some point and still formed a fundamental part of the life of Colombians. The parade will have more than 260 vehicles that will roll majestically through the streets of the eternal spring. Okay? If you had a cell phone taken from you recently, here's a story for you. Okay? They recovered more than 35 stolen cell phones that were about to be sold in the center of Medellin. They recovered mobile equipment and handed it over to their owners, most of which were foreign nationals. Did you get that? That means you. That means your cell phones. With a team of 150 men and women deployed in the center of Medellin, the recovery of more than 35 high-end cell phones was achieved. The implemented plans were focused on the registration, control, and verification of commercial premises dedicated to the sale and repair of cell phones, where in one of these establishments, a container covered with aluminum was found with the aim of blocking the signal and not being detected or located. It is there where they stored the stolen mobile equipment during the flower fair. The recovered mobile equipment was handed over to its owners, again, most of which were foreign nationals. That means you. The National Police will continue to implement forceful actions against crime and invites people who have been the victim of cell phone theft to come to the Candelaria police station and check if their mobile equipment has been recovered. So there you go. Obviously, this means you. This means the tourists. This means the visitors. They're getting your cell phones one way or another. And you know if you're missing one, get down to the Candelaria police station if so. Okay, I have a video that's coming up next. And let's just say it's someone that's taken something that doesn't belong to him. But there was just one piece of it that I wanted to point out. But first, this.
With the ball blade, I run a better with the ball blade, better with the long way. One love to the southwest side.
That's right. I have to say thanks to everybody who supports this channel. Thank you for your financial support. Thank you for the good vibes in the comment section, especially on that last video. You guys told me you want to see the news however it comes, good, bad, indifferent. I'm going to put it out the way it comes. If they flag it, they flag it. If not, if not. Well, I'm not going to say what this next video is, but let's just jump into this right away because there's just one thing I want to point out to it. Check this out. Okay, so here we go. It's the standard. Two guys on a motorcycle. The one on the back hops off. He's the one that's got the weapon. The other guy is just ready to go. What I wanted to point out, though, is check this guy off to the right. The one that's facing this way, smoking a cigarette, holding his arms out. Hey, what do you want from me? It's like he's not fazed. Now, this is what he did. Shouldn't have gone for his pockets, but look what he did. He throws it on the floor. Now, does old boy pick it up? It makes him look away. I mean, that's a slick move. That's all I wanted to point out. Just like the girl on the bus, they put it under her leg. This was slick. Okay, there you go. So I'm not saying throw your stuff on the floor, but I mean, anyway, he didn't get his stuff taken, whatever that was. Anyway, okay, if you didn't know, there's been fires, quite a bit of fires throughout Medellin. I haven't really reported on it because I thought they would put it out. Then another one pop up and they will put it out. But the bomberos they are working at it, let me tell you. A contingency plan begins to combat the increase in fires in wooded areas of Medellin. Okay, through the DAGGED, the initiative of the preparation of the contingency plan to combat vegetation fires in Medellin begins. One of the actions was the contracting of flight hours with Bambi Bucket, helicopters that carry from 270 to 600 gallons of water. The contract will serve between 3 and 5 hours of work for the fire units on the ground. The plan includes drone flights in sensitive areas of vegetation fires for monitoring with thermal cameras. This will make it possible to safeguard the lives of citizens and preserve the vegetation cover. This initiative comes out because in Medellin, 97 vegetation fires have been registered this year. It is hoped that the DAGGED can sensitize the communities to generate knowledge of the risk and turn citizens into allies of prevention. In other words, if some were started by the people, they need to let the people know. Don't do what you're doing. Don't be smoking out in the woods or whatever. Okay, as far as finances, this is the financial section of the news, okay? These are the top 4 companies that generated the most sales revenue during the first half of the year in Colombia. Okay, number 1, EPM. Empresas Públicas de Medellin leads the list with revenues of more than 18 billion pesos. Second place on the list went to Grupo Éxito. Everybody know Éxito, that's like their Walmart. A store chain that reported profits of 10.6 billion and a growth of 13.5%. Despite being in second place on the list, the company presented losses of 38.93 billion pesos. In third place, and the ranking was taken by the food processing conglomerate based in Medellin, Grupo Nutresa, which had an operating income of 9.6 billion, increasing 26.4% compared to the same period in 2022, with a growth of 28.8%. And finally, rounding this top 4 list, Avianca. It reported a growth of 8.9% and earnings of 9.1 trillion pesos. Wow. The great positioning of the airline was due to the fact that it covered an important part of the air transport market that was left free after the departure of Viva Air and Ultra Air, low-cost airlines that covered routes to the main air destinations in the country. So there you go. Somebody's making some money. You know what the top 4 are now. I'm going to end on some good news, even better news. This one has to do with tennis shoes, Nikes, and J Balvin. Okay, J Balvin is getting his own Nikes. Okay, that's right. J Balvin's Air Jordan 3 is releasing on September 2nd of this year. J Balvin has been spotted in Miami wearing his upcoming Air Jordan 3 collaboration. The design inspired by the Medellin sunset. That's right, shoes inspired by the Medellin sunset. Over the course of the last few years, Jordan's brand's extended family have become increasingly more influential. From Travis Scott to Billie Eilish, many of the music industry's biggest names proudly wear the Jumpman on their sleeves. J Balvin, too, has recently joined the brand, having released a collaborative Air Jordan 1 and Air Jordan 2 in 2020 and 2022, respectively. And come later this year, it looks like the Colombian singer-songwriter will be bringing his touch to the next model in the lineup, the Air Jordan 3. Aside from its release date, which is currently rumored for September 2nd, that's a Saturday, by the way, not much is known about the J Balvin Air Jordan 3. But if the past releases are any indication, it's likely the artist will dress MJ's third signature in a bold, playful colorway. His signature iconography is likely to accompany not just on the shoes themselves, but also the accompanying apparel that has confirmed to be on its way as well. So there you go. J Balvin has his new Nike 3s coming out September 2nd. Run out and spend that money, guys. Anyway, hopefully this keeps you up to date for the weekend. Getting ready to start a new week. Thank you guys for watching. Remember, travel, but travel safe. If you're in Medellin and you need dental work done, from a basic cleaning to major reconstructive surgery, come see my guy, Dr. Carlos Mori. Contact information in the description below. Headed to Medellin, Colombia? See my guy Andres with Nomad Travel for safe airport pickups and drop-offs and tours. Contact information in the description below. Join me on social media. I am DC Born Rob Official on Instagram. I am DC Born Rob Official 1 on TikTok. I am DC Born Rob O on Twitter. Don't be like this guy right here.
You're just so stupid. I had to send you a video to let you know that you're so stupid.
That's right. Don't be like this guy right here. Join me on social media.